This is BIPSI, brought to you by the Division of Communication and Performing Arts.
Hey guys, welcome to This is BIPSI. My name is Sarah Patterson and I'll be your host today. I'm here with Miss Tiffany Stanford and we're going to talk about the Office of Student Life and learn about what they're doing this year. So my first question is for you and get to know you a little bit. What is your job here at BIPSI, your title?
Okay, I am a program coordinator over in the Office of Student Life, and so I work over there with students, very hands-on. I see students that come in to get student IDs. I answer questions and things like that, help them find their way and help them get involved.
So you see like almost all the faces here that come through BIPSI, yeah? So that requires you to be in the office a lot. How long have you been here in the office working of student life?
I've been here for coming up on 2 years now, and I absolutely love it. As a student, I was super involved in activities and helping put on events, and so to have the opportunity to be back in this office and help the students and see somebody that was just like me that likes to be involved and help them find their way and get involved is really exciting and very fun.
Good. Is that kind of how you fell into this job, or were you just like super involved and you didn't want to leave BIPSI?
That is exactly how I fell into this job. I started out, I was on SGA, I was a student recruiter, I was a former Miss BIPSI.
Oh, so you went here to BIPSI, okay.
I did. I graduated from here in 2008. I know that sounds like a very long time ago, but it really isn't.
It wasn't.
But I stayed involved in all the activities, and even after I graduated, Miss Harper, the director of student life, would still call me back and say, hey, did you want to help out with this, or did you want to help out with that? And I was always willing, so when a job opportunity opened up, she called me up and said, hey, just to let you know, you might want to think about applying because I think it would be a good fit for you.
Okay, so you went here. What was your major? Did you study? Whatever major you had, did it help you? Did it prepare you for being a Office of Student Life person?
It did. Whenever I went here, I majored in general studies and actually graduated with my associate in general studies, and then I transferred to LSU Shreveport where I was a communications major. I majored in...
so like us.
Yeah, just like you. I majored in electronic media journalism, and I actually got my Bachelor of Arts from there in EMJ. And so while I don't work in the news field, it was very applicable to me because it helps me communicate with other people, and I did a lot of PR minor classes and leadership minor classes, so they help me prepare for these events. And
is it good? Does that help you talking with all the different kinds of students we have here at BIPSI?
Absolutely. Yeah. There's we have a huge diverse population here at the school, and so being able to read someone's facial expressions and interpret kind of what they're saying without them actually saying it helps me out a lot, especially at that front counter.
That's good. That's really good. I like that. Because I feel like we have such a big population here, you never know what you might run into. It's always good to have the preparation before that. And so what is the Office of Student Life here for?
Well, we're here to help engage you in things outside of the classroom. We feel like you learn a lot of stuff inside of the classroom, but it's the things that are outside of the classroom that we can educate and help prepare you for, that will help make you an applicable job applicant when you go out into the job market. So say for instance for me, when I applied for this job, while I had a degree in communications, it was very valuable for me in this particular field because I had worked with student events and had a lot of engagement here on campus. It allowed them to see, oh, well, she's good at planning events. She's planned her own events. She's helped out with events both at BIPSI and LSUS, so this would be a good fit for her.
Okay. So the Office of Student Life, y'all, what are your goals? Do you have any certain goals? Do you think that being here helps students stay more focused on classes to give them a little reprieve every now and then from their studies?
Absolutely, and I know that coming up we have our Spring Fling, and so if you're interested in that, I can tell you about that a little bit later.
Go ahead, tell us.
Our Spring Fling is an event that we do in early April or late March, and so it's actually, like you mentioned, a reprieve to take students' mind off of finals approaching and the stress of the end of the semester. So it's something that allows them to relax and have fun and enjoy being part of the BIPSI family. Okay. So we look forward to doing things like that, and like I said before, it's also to help educate you on things outside of the classroom, teach you leadership skills, how to interact with other people, and then like the series, to help you understand there's things outside of BIPSI and outside of Shreveport-Bossier that you can be exposed to.
That's good, because a lot of students may not, if you guys weren't here and were doing those kinds of things, a lot of students might not have a chance to experience anything like that or get to learn about other cultures in y'all's multicultural series. So that's really good to help prepare students for the future, I believe. Is there any other events that you have planned coming up this year, the Student Life Office?
Well, I think our big pull this semester is going to be the multicultural series, but we also have something that is called our rewards card. And so it's an incentive for students to participate and get involved. So that's something that we kicked off this past fall, and we were met with open arms. Students loved it. Y'all pay fees for us to put on events, and so what we like to do is give those back to you in creative ways. So whether that be having a crawfish boil or having hot dogs out in the quad for tip-off in the quad, or providing you with these events, we try to do something fun. And so what we did is for this semester, we've actually purchased a smart TV. And so as you come to the event, you can get one of these cards. We will stamp it off that you've attended the event and participated in the event. And as you collect stamps, you can redeem those stamps for prizes. And then if you make it to 7 or more, you can enter yourself into that grand prize drawing for the smart TV. So
that's some incentive right there, guys. What kind of prizes do you offer? Let them know. They might be like, oh, I can get that. Hold on, we need to visit some more of these events.
Yes, we have Scantrons that we give away because those are expensive and you have to have them for all of your classes.
Yes.
So we thought, hey, that's a great one. We have selfie sticks. We have portable charging banks because I'm sure you've been in class.
Everything students need,
Everything that you might need, we have, but I don't know how many times you might have had your phone die on you and you need it. So that charging bank's really, really useful. And then we have bumper stickers and things like that.
Bipsy bumper stickers?
They are Bipsy Student Life bumper stickers.
That's a good one. So what would you say your favorite event you've hosted so far is, or that y'all have planned and prepared out?
They are all super fun. It's hard to decide. I think I have a partiality to the Miss Bipsy pageant. We just finished that one up this past weekend, and so we got a brand new Miss Bipsy, Kelly McFarland.
Oh, okay.
Very well spoken, very smart. She's going to be a great Miss Bipsy.
We'll have to do an interview with her too.
Yes, you will. She's fabulous, and I'm sure she would love it. I love working with that one. I think just as a former Miss Bipsy, I get the opportunity to help the girls as they move through that pageant to understand.
Probably really nervous.
Yes, they are. They're very nervous, but they have so much fun. A lot of our girls are first timers. They've never done a pageant, and for us, we aren't looking for a pageant queen that's been super experienced. We want a really good role model and a spokesperson for the school.
Someone, modest and who is just as nervous as anyone else would be going up there on that stage.
That realism and really just a love and a passion for Bipsy and what it is that we are in the community and what we can do for our students.
How are the turnouts for the Miss Bipsy pageant and some of the other student events have you hosted? Do we have a lot of our students attend?
We do. We have a ton of participation. I don't know the exact number of people that came to the pageant, but I know we had a pretty full house out there. I know that a lot of the girls will bring their family members and their friends. Maybe some of their classmates will come cheer for them. I emceed it, and I actually saw people standing there holding poster board signs and saying, "Go so-and-so." So we do have a great turnout for that, but we also have fabulous turnouts for all of the events we do. If we're doing something that's out in the quad, that's actually one of our bigger events, and so we might have 300 or 400 students attend. And then some of our smaller events, we have something new and different series that we do. We might have the multicultural series. Students, as they're coming by through class, can check it out. So we might have anywhere from 10 to 30, and then it will grow and change as the classes let out.
And as like lunchtime hits, I'm sure you guys get flooded with a lot of people through there. But that's good to see them stop and really take interest, instead of just walking by or having their head stuck down on their smartphone we're often have our heads stuck down on our smartphone. Is there any future events that we don't know about? Is there anything in the makes that no one's heard yet? Do y'all have anything to surprise us?
Well, I have. We're doing that spring fling that I mentioned a few minutes ago, and so I actually brought that here. We're planning to do intramurals out in the quad. So I don't know if you were here on campus a few weeks ago, but we had it set up outside. They had, I think, some basketball goals and some volleyball nets, and they did tug of war. And so we want to get y'all involved again outside of the classroom, and we feel that intramurals are a great way to do that.
Now, explain the intramurals program to me a little bit. What does that actually mean?
Intramurals are sports that you can participate in. So maybe if you didn't want to be a softball player or a basketball player or somebody that participates in track, or maybe you're like me and you don't have a lot of athletic ability.
I'm right there next to you. Don't worry, I'm not very athletic.
These you can participate in. So do you think you could do tug of war?
Oh, I mean, can I pull on a rope? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So we try to do fun things like that. And again, it's another way for students to relieve stress. And maybe you're having a tough day, you can go out to the intramurals out in the gym with Coach Grisham and you can shoot a few hoops. You might can play ping pong. I know they have a ping pong tournament coming up. But that's just fun events that you can participate in with your friends, and you don't really have to have a whole lot of athletic ability. We're planning on doing that. We've got Caring Cavaliers, which is a community service initiative for students to participate and give back to the community.
Now, I heard recently that the Caring Cavaliers did a book drive. How many books have y'all collected?
I haven't counted, but I know that Miss Anna Dixon in our English department, she's storing some for us over there, and I think she had 3 or 4 very large boxes, and we have a donation drive box in our office, and it's pretty full too. So I would wager maybe 200 to 300 books so far to donate back to local schools that need updating in their library.
Is that what it is? It's for local schools just to have a little bit better variety. Man, that's really good, because you know, when they start cutting the funding and stuff for schools, that might be one thing that goes, and everyone should learn to read and enjoy books for sure. It kind of lights up your childhood a little bit more.
I love it. And then this one will be super fun.
Oh.
On that Wednesday, we have NSU at BIPSI Fun Day, and so we have a great partnership with Northwestern State University in Natchitoches and Shreveport, and so they come here to BIPSI to set up an event, and they sponsor and they pay for it, and of course we help out and we bring in some activities, but this one will be the really fun one. So if you're free on Wednesday, April 12th, we have a crawfish boil.
Oh, goodness.
Yes, very tasty. Excited about that.
That is going to definitely draw the people in. That's all I've heard about on the social media lately is I'm going to eat crawfish.
I think that'll be super fun, and then we're going to have some entertainment. We're going to have Hungry Human Hippo, and so you get to actually be the hippo, and you're going after balls and stuff like that, so that's really fun. And then we'll have cheer and dance performances, and then that Thursday right before Good Friday, we're actually going to have an Easter egg hunt, so that's something brand new. I don't think
we get to have an Easter egg?
Yes, and we're gonna hide some tickets in there for some big prizes. So
you know how long it's been since I've got to do an Easter egg hunt? They've been telling me I'm too old for years.
Well, you're not, because we did it just for the college students.
That is a great idea. I really like that. I was mad, you know, around 10, 12. They're all like, no, let the little kids hunt the eggs. I think a lot of people are going to love that. They miss it more than they admit.
I think it'll be fun, especially to see the students running around campus, looking in the bushes and behind benches, seeing if they can find one of the lucky eggs.
Get students active too. I think that's really good. And get them out of the slump if they're having a bad day, like a treasure hunt. That makes everyone happier. So my next question is, we've been talking about all these other events, but we have a big ongoing event that you have told me a little bit about, and I'm going to ask you about it when we get back from our break. It's going to be, the multicultural series, and I just want you to go into detail about that.
Okay, awesome.
So when we get back with you, we're going to talk about that, guys. But for now, go back to break.
My relationship with music started when I was about 6 years old.
What happened was I just went to the piano and I started playing For Elise by memory.
They had a career day and a musician came to the class and he did a little demonstration, played saxophone, and I thought, oh my gosh, that's what I want to do the rest of my life.
Wound up being a music educator, and it's been my life for the past, I can't even count how many years. In high school, I wanted to be a professional trumpet player, and it turned out music education was really where I needed to be. And for all these years, that's where all the time and the effort has taken place.
When I get out of music, it's like an expression of the soul, and I hate to sound sappy, but it is. It's like anything that you feel, you can convey it without words.
It takes me to a place where my words don't know how to get me, if that makes any sense. When I don't know how to put my emotions into words, there's almost always a song out there that can do it for me.
Some of the things I get out of teaching personally is actually seeing students get it. One of the subjects that I really love to teach is music theory. And many of our students come to us with a love of music and the hope of studying music and either performing professionally or being music educators. To get to that end, they need to study the music theory aspect of it. What do the notes mean? What's on the page?
Being a community college, you know, people look down on the college because of that, and I think they're wrong. So the quality doesn't suffer at all. I mean, it's unreal. They expect the same thing out of you at a community college as they do at a four-year institution.
And the concepts that you learn and, you know, techniques, and you can't find it at every school.
One of the main things that we try and do here at Bossier Parish Community College with our music students is to instill a good work ethic.
One of the scariest things that I've ever had to do was get up on the stage to do my student recitals like everybody else is required to as a major, but the instructors help you through it. I mean, they're great. You couldn't ask for a better program here.
When I leave Bossier Parish Community College, I'm gonna go get my bachelor's, and then I'm gonna go get my doctorate and hopefully teach at a college.
One of the aspects of our music program that we're always working on is recruiting quality and talented students.
This is BIPSI, brought to you by the Division of Communication and Performing Arts.
Hey guys, welcome back to This is BIPSI. I'm your host, Sarah Patterson, and I'm here with Miss Tiffany Sandiford. And we've covered so far a little bit about student life in the office and what they do, but now I want to ask you about the big multicultural event that you guys have been doing this year, and it's new to BIPSI. So what is this about? What's the goals for this? Tell me.
So one of the things we wanted to do is educate students about things that were different than what you're used to experiencing. So a lot of times we have a tendency to get in our little box, and we're accustomed to the things that we do and the way that we see the world. And so we wanted to bring students' attention to different awareness things like autism awareness, celebrate diversity, and of course different cultures that are different than your own. So it allows you to see what else is out there aside from BIPSI and aside from Shreveport-Bossier, but it also is going to call awareness to different important facts. And then maybe, you know, you might like to learn more about the Chinese New Year. You might not have been able to have that exposure elsewhere. A lot of college students don't have a ton of extra money to go travel and research and investigate, or time. So for this, it'll allow you to say, okay, well, that's kind of interesting. One day when I have money saved up and I have a great job, maybe I'll take a 2-week vacation and I'll go to China and I'll learn about the Chinese New Year. Or I might travel to another state or another country to learn and research and kind of broaden my horizons.
So you guys have a different theme for each month, I see. And what your first month you said was Chinese New Year. Mm-hmm. What event and things did you guys do for Chinese New Year?
Okay, so every 2 weeks we have a display board that we change out, and it spotlights a different culture or different awareness issue. And then we have something that's a wraparound event. And so even though the board's up for 2 weeks, we're going to have one day where we do an event where students can come and they can participate or they can take something away. Our display boards have facts, figures, information on there, but the wraparound event allows you to participate in an activity. So as you pass by the board, you can stop between classes, or when you're done with classes and research on your own, and at that wraparound event, we'll try to educate you in a hands-on way.
So it gets you involved too. Mm-hmm. It's not just to look at.
It does, and you know, I've walked down there before just taking mail or running an errand, and I'll see students standing there and looking and taking pictures and reading along with things on the board and educating themselves. So that's really cool. The first one we did was Chinese New Year, and that was met with a great response. We gave out fortune cookies. People came by and learned about their Chinese zodiac symbol, and we have a guest book, and we really want to encourage people to sign the guest book. So if you learned something or you enjoyed it, leave us a note, sign your name and say, oh, I learned that I'm a dragon, or I learned about the Chinese culture. I thought this was really neat.
That's good feedback for you guys too. You know exactly how many people are benefiting from what you guys are doing.
And then that way we can maybe get some suggestions too. I think the greatest thing about us having that multicultural series is that at the Chinese New Year, someone came up to us and they were like, hey, if this is something new, I have an idea, can I share it with you? And we love when students bring us ideas, love it. So if there is a culture or an awareness issue that you want to bring attention to, please stop by the Student Life office.
Students can put in events for later on. Now, I see that you guys have events full for this year. So I'm assuming if students are allowed to put in their input, y'all are continuing on next year.
Yes, the Student Life office actually took on the multicultural series because, like I said, we want to streamline services offered to students at the college, and we want to educate y'all. So to us, getting that student feedback is very important. So if you see something that's not on one of our cards, let us know and say, hey, I think it'd be important if we learned about Italian heritage. I'm Italian. I think I want to share that with people here at school. So we'll be able to jot that down and find somewhere where it fits. Yeah, see, that would be fun. I would definitely want to participate in that.
The quad, I'm just saying.
I love it.
So y'all did, so the Chinese Zodiac, that was the first month, and so February is Black History Month, and you guys did something about that. Tell me about the events that you held.
Well, for our wraparound event, we did a Black History Month program, and so we had students that participated in that. We had 2 students that actually prepared a 1 to 2 minute soapbox speech about somebody that they thought was important to educate about. And then we had 2 of our staff members actually prepared an African tribal dance, and they performed that for our students.
Wow.
We had some of our members of the gospel choir get up and they led a rendition of Amazing Grace a cappella and encouraged people in the audience to sing along, and just to unify so many people singing that song, it gave me chills.
That gives me chills just talking about it.
It was very neat because one of the things that's a hot topic today is diversity and coming together and understanding other people and creating tolerance and acceptance.
I was reading about the Rotaract Club the other day, and something about, you know, uniting people worldwide for like greater good was like part of their alma mater or something. And that's another thing we have here at BIPSI. I think, other than the multicultural series, that really helps bring people together. I feel like BIPSI has more of a tight-knit family maybe than some other colleges. We're smaller and closer together, which is really great. I love that.
I would definitely agree with that. I felt like that when I was a student, and I still do. I'm proud to be
Very
part of the
welcoming,
family.
and everyone's so nice. So now we just had our President's Day, and you guys had a President's Day board up an event. What kind of things did you have for that and information on the board?
Well, we wanted students to learn the process. How does one become a president? Are there any requirements? And there are. And so if you'd like to learn more about those are actually up on our board, and you can see what it takes to become the President of the United States, what those requirements are.
Maybe people think.
Yes, and then on top of that, we had a registration area that you could register yourself to vote, because that's very important. We don't want y'all to just watch the world happen and pass you by. We want you to be active participants in it. So educating yourself on issues, learning about voting in local elections as well as state and federal, those will help you make choices that you feel comfortable with. And of course, we did something really fun. We had a photo booth, and we did a large American flag, and students could come by, and we had cutouts of the president's faces. And so you could come pick a president that stood out to you, or maybe your favorite president, and you can stand in front of that board and with the flag and take a picture and selfie. And you know, students love that. They were on Snapchat.
Masks, I heard.
Yes, they were masked, and you can hold them up, and it was the president's face, and it had 2 eye cutouts. And so you know, you could be Abraham Lincoln.
I could be Abraham Lincoln. You know, honestly, I think I could rock that hat. I think the top hat would do me good. So the turnout for the President's Day event and the Black History, how was that? The students, did a lot come?
Yes, we've had excellent feedback from our students so far. I want to say that the Black History Month one, that was a ton of people, and I loved it. And so for that one, when there's actually a program, more people will come by and they'll sit down. And people walking by, you might say, oh, well, what's that going on over there? I want to see.
People get interested
yeah,
when
they
they
get
see other
interested.
people too.
Yeah, and so that was the purpose of the wraparound event, because that board's there for 2 weeks and people will pass by it and read, but when you have an activity or a program or an event, it draws people in. So I think that us having those wraparound events have really increased attendance to it.
So your next two I see for March is Women's History Month and Irish American Heritage. Do you have any wraparound events planned yet for those?
Yes, we are actually working on the Women's History Month right now. We have a multicultural series team or committee, and we get together and we pick which ones to sponsor. So some of these are Student Life sponsored, and some of them might be from other faculty or staff here on campus. And so
maybe someone who's more advocate for whatever cause you're celebrating that month.
And so somebody actually here on campus is sponsoring Women's History Month, and so she's working with us, and she, I think, is creating like a crossword puzzle or a word search, something like that. And she wanted to spotlight women's history, but she wanted to do it in a unique way where we're looking at people just from Bossier Parish, so you could see what women have done locally. And then we'll decorate the board and, of course, partner with her on that. And then for Irish American Heritage, I think that one will be super fun. The wraparound event is on St. Patrick's Day, March 17th. Ooh. Very fun. And we are actually going to have some green lemonade. We'll probably have some snacks, maybe some cookies. And right now we already got them in, little buttons that say, I'm Irish today, or kiss me, I'm Irish.
Today I identify as an Irish person.
Yes, St. Patty's Day, things like that. So very fun.
I assume they'll have green on them so no one's going to get pinched, right?
Yes, don't pinch people without consent. You have to have their permission first.
You heard her. You heard her. No pinching without consent, guys. So, to sort of wrap things up overall, what inspired the themes, and is there any ideas for next year's themes that you want to do?
Well, what we did when we created this list of events is we looked at what fell within the calendar year. So, of course, President's Day, we wanted to make sure we did something for that on President's Day. For Black History Month, obviously, we'd like for that one to be in February. So we looked at some of the bigger events and helped outline those, but we also looked at some awareness issues. So April's Autism Awareness Month, and we wanted to tie something into that. Basically what we did is we just went and found things that fit, but again, we wanted to bring awareness and engage y'all and help you learn something new. So that's how we came up with that, just wanting to create awareness. And then moving forward, I don't know if you saw, but on the card it stops on June, and so it doesn't mean that we're done with the series. It just means that we're looking for ideas. If we don't receive any ideas, we will absolutely find something to put in there to continue awareness.
Students are encouraged to submit ideas.
Absolutely, yes, and you can come by anytime to the Student Life office. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30. You can stop by and say, hey, I really like the multicultural series, I want to volunteer, or I have an idea that I'd like to share with you that I think is a really good idea. And we love the feedback. Yes, love the feedback for that. So.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming out today and doing this interview. It was very informative, and I believe that this is such a great cause, and students should really get involved, not just to learn about, you know, their culture here, but to learn about the culture outside of just our small little dot that we're on right here in Shreveport-Bossier. So thank you for coming out, Ms. Tiffany Stanford.
Thank you. I enjoyed it.
That's all we have for today, guys. Thank you for tuning into This is Bipsy. My name is Sarah Patterson, and y'all have a great evening.